Today's myth is that one houseplant compost fits all. Now, although houseplants will survive in one type of mix, to get them to thrive, it's really great to give them a tailored mix. Just imagine us all living in the same house, trying to get along. We're never going to be at our best. So we've got 3 different mixes here. This first one is for cacti and succulents. Anything that's water storing, thick or fleshy, this is going to be perfect for. So this is a base of a peat-free houseplant mix, which already has some horticultural sand in it, and we're using 50% of that with 50% horticultural grit. Once it's mixed thoroughly, you'll end up with a mix like this. You can see that that's going to allow water to drain really quickly through, which is the enemy of cacti and succulents. You do not want water sitting around the base. So a mix like this is going to be suitable for your cacti, your succulents, and things like the Dracaena or the snake plant. They're going to really thrive in these conditions, and it's going to allow the soil to dry out nice and quick. This next mix is going to be suitable for most of your houseplants. So we've got 50% peat-free houseplant compost, 25% horticultural grit, and 25% fine bark. You just need to mix that together really thoroughly, and I'll show you what it'll look like after. So this is what it should look like after. The bark opens it up, but it's also really moisture retentive whilst allowing any excess water to drain through. The horticultural grit does the same job, but also adds a little bit of weight to the pot. How many times have you knocked your houseplants over? Or when they get a little bit dry, they can topple. So the grit just adds a bit more stability. And then the houseplant compost gives it some nutrition and some water storing capabilities as well. This kind of mix will be perfect for things like begonia, ferns, and calathea. Anything with fibrous, thin roots, this will be perfect for. The last substrate is going to be great for aroids. So we've got 60% houseplant compost, 20% fine bark, and 20% coarse bark. This is the finished mix. You can see compared to the others, it's much chunkier, it's much more open, which is going to hold on to moisture but allow excess water to drain straight through. Aroids have chunkier, fleshier roots in general, so they prefer this kind of mix. And aroids that are going to be suitable in here are things like your classic Monstera deliciosa, all of the Monstera family, things like this beautiful Philodendron gloriosum and Anthurium too. Now there's one thing to note about using bark, and that is when it decomposes, the bacteria temporarily take the nitrogen out of the soil. And that nitrogen is then not going to be accessible to your plants, so it's really important to fertilize. As you can see, we have 3 completely different mixes tailored to all of our different houseplants, and we've only used 4 different ingredients, so you don't need to have lots and lots of things. Doing these 3 simple mixes is going to make sure your plants not only survive, but really thrive in your home.